slowly waking up to a beautiful morning, and right now I am also planning to start my journey from this place, and this is none other than I'm standing before the Ernakulatappan ground and the Ernakulatappan Shiva temple. So before we start the journey, I'm planning to go to the temple so that we can have a wonderful holy start off before we start this journey of this episode. It was in the last episode that we got to see some of the most popular tourist spots of the Kochi city. But today, I'm going to take you to the less explored or some of the most beautiful historic spots of Kochi. I'm right in the middle of my journey, and you can see a board just beside me. It tells me that Fort Kochi and Mattancherry is 8 kilometers from here. There is also Wellington Island, which is just 0.5 kilometer. That is very close to the place. Last episode we did have a glance at the Wellington Island. So I am moving on to Fort Kochi. Join me. We have just reached the Fort Kochi. So traveling around 12 kilometers from the city, we reach here. I just traveled through by road, but you can also come by the boat also for a less expensive ride. You can just, and also to enjoy the backwaters, you can take the boat ride also. It would cost just ₹2.50 if you are coming by the boat. Or else there is also the low flow buses available, that is from the city. You can take a low flow bus and come to this place in a cool air conditioned ambience too. And right now here I am, it's the early morning, and Fort Kochi has just woke up, and the tourists are not much to be seen here because it's early morning, and or else the streets of Fort Kochi are crowded with tourists. But we have just reached in the early morning, looking forward to more number of tourists. This is one very popular site here at the Fort Kochi area. You get to see these kind of bags here. It's very popular for among the foreigners also. Some quaintly designed bags of all hues, of all colors. It's very popular. Let me just try one. I think this one. It's very light. It's very lightweight. It's very cool to carry also. The foreigners movie. So this comes to $150, and I think a bit too much for us, but for the foreigners it will be a cool price. ഇതൊക്കെ ഇവിടെ തന്നെ ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നതാണോ? ഇതൊക്കെ നമ്മുടെ ഇതൊക്കെ നോർത്തിൽ നിന്ന് വരുന്നതാണ്. രാജസ്ഥാനിൽ. ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ. Oh, it's very quaint piece. Oh, ബോട്ടിലാണ് അല്ലേ? ഓക്കെ. ഇത് വെള്ളം നിറയ്ക്കാൻ അല്ലേ? ഇത് തേങ്ങ കൊണ്ട് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയത്?
ഇല്ല, തേങ്ങ ഷെല്ലാണ്.
ഓക്കെ. ഓഹോ. ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ. അപ്പൊ ഇത് എന്താണ്, തണുത്ത് വെള്ളം അങ്ങനെ നിൽക്കും, അങ്ങനെയാണ്? ഓക്കെ.
ലിക്വിഡ് ഐറ്റംസ്
എല്ലാം. It's a very beautiful showpiece. A wine casket. It's just a bottle here. You can see a steel. I'm sorry, this is a glass bottle here. Just that it has been covered well with a coconut shell. Quite a number of curious pieces. I'm sure shopping is going to be quite exciting here. So I think there is a lot more to see. We needn't confine to just one shop. I need to go to too many other shops. So join me. Thank you. So we are continuing our journey. So many beautiful kind of, the colors are actually very rich. Something that usually I don't think foreigners would prefer, but still for a very funky kind of a look, you can pick one of these. See, too many pajamas are also here, kurtis of all size. And here you can see some hangings, beautiful ones. Oh, look what I have here. A jerry. A beautifully done jerry in wood. It's a cute side indeed. Oh, here you have another piece. Something that would be selling much in. There are too many works in conch also that is very special here. Oh, look at this one. India. With an elephant. Oh, this is with a magnetic piece attached. So you can probably place it on the refrigerator. Now this is the typical site of Kochi with the Chinese fishing nets in my backdrop. This is something that you see, this is the image that you usually associate with Fort Kochi. And now that we have reached here in the morning, they have just, the fishermen here have just started their work. You can see the fishing net behind me, the Chinese fishing net. Within every 10 minutes gap, they bring down the nets. It is now immersed in the sea. The fishes will be accumulated there, and after some time, after a 10 minutes gap, they'll be taking it, they'll be lifting it up, and you can see a swarm of fishes over there. Now this is a usual scene that you get to see here in the entire Fort Kochi area. But it's said that they don't get that much of a strong catch here these days. But definitely the number of foreigners who are coming here, for them it's a very curious sight. So it is from the amount that these foreigners give to them that they find their business more profitable rather than from the catch, from the fish's catch. So this is what is happening here. It's on a regular basis. They were telling me that in the mornings as well as in the afternoons they do this. Oh, I think they are lifting it up. That was an exciting experience indeed. So now they have caught the fish there. Let's see how much, now that I have also used my muscles for this, let me see how much of fishes they have caught right now. Looks like all my toil has gone in vain because they have just got one fish. Seems the catch is not so good these days. And that over mean it will. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഇതേ കിട്ടുള്ളൂ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്താ പൊതുവേ കുറവാണോ Those are the final moments of the fish. Not such a good sight to see in the morning, but still this is their job. It's from this that we get our daily dose of fish moli, fish fry. So looks like I also can't show that much sympathy to the fish because essentially it is all part of our belly. So let them continue with their job and we are gonna continue with our journey. looks like you have got some crabs here, live crabs. ഇതിപ്പോ പിടിച്ചിട്ടേ ഉള്ളൂ. Oh, the one of them ഒരെണ്ണം ചാടി പുറത്തോട്ട് വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഓ ഓ ഓ അതിന്റെ അമ്മോ. ഓക്കെ, ഇത് എങ്ങനെയാണ്, എത്ര വരുന്നത് ഇതിന്?
250 kg.
Per kg 250. Oh, പക്ഷെ ഫ്രഷ് ആണ്. The thing is very fresh. And here you have some other things also here. The fishes that you can see. Oh, this is a big, huge prawn.
Tiger prawns are fresh. Right.
Oh.
Machat.
എന്താണത്?
Machat. Kartavoli.
Machat. Okay. ഇത് tiger prawns അല്ലേ?
Tiger prawns. This is white.
White prawns. White prawns. ഇതെന്താ പറഞ്ഞത്? ബ്ലൂ സ്കാംബി. ഇതിന് എത്രയാ വരുന്നത്? ഒരു
കിലോക്ക് 550 500 ഒക്കെ.
ഇതൊക്കെ ഈ ഹോട്ടലുകളിലാണല്ലോ കൂടുതൽ വിറ്റുപോകുന്നത്, ആൾക്കാർ വന്ന് വാങ്ങിക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ?
ടൂറിസ്റ്റ് വാങ്ങിച്ച് ഇവിടുന്ന് ഫ്രൈ ചെയ്ത റെസ്റ്റോറന്റ്.
അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾ തന്നെയാണോ ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കുന്നത്?
ഞങ്ങൾ റെസ്റ്റോറന്റ്.
ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ അവരായിട്ടൊരു അറേഞ്ച്മെന്റ്, ഒരു ടൈപ്പ് ആണ്.
25 കിലോ ചാർജ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നത് ഫ്രൈ ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ.
ഓക്കെ, 125. ഓ, ഈ ഒരെണ്ണത്തിന് 125.
ഒരു കിലോത്തിന് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന ചാർജ് 500 550 kg വരും.
ഇത് ഇവിടെ കിട്ടുന്നതാണോ?
ഇത് കായൽ പോയല്ല.
ഓ, കായൽ എടുത്ത് നോക്കാം. Oh, it's very cold. Creepy feeling. But it's heavy actually. Okay, anyway, thank you so much. ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഇവിടെ കുറേ മീനിൻ്റെ കുറേ വെറൈറ്റീസ് ഉണ്ട് that we don't usually see in our markets. As I just told you, this is one way of reaching Fort Kochi by the sea, and this is the Jangar service, very common here. It's going to take you, this Jangar is right now going to the Vaipin. There at the farthest corner there you can see the Vaipin. And from here I can see there's a kind of a long view from here to the Vallarpadam church that we had gone to in the last episode. This is one less costly way of reaching this place of Fort Kochi, and you can enjoy the beauty of backwaters through the Jangar. As Fort Kochi is busy fishing, it's time for us to move on to the historical monuments here. That is also going to be a beautiful sight, I'm sure about that. So let them carry on with their fishing. Meanwhile, we'll move on to the historical sites of Kochi. We are now going to the St. Francis CSI Church. It's very much important historically also, because this is the church where the body of the legendary Vasco da Gama was buried. And now it is known that this church was built in the year 1503 by the Portuguese. Still, it's so beautiful. Historically also it is very enriching, and even visually too. The historical church of St. Francis, I've just come out of that and just came to know that the mortal remains of Vasco da Gama has been transported to Lisbon, to a monastery in Lisbon, his son himself had come down to this church to take the mortal remains back to his own home country. But still that atmosphere, that mood of 1503, that early 16th century is so much prevalent inside the premises of the church. One interesting thing about the streets of Fort Kochi is that its names are very unique. Most of the names take roots from Dutch, French names. You get to see some different kinds of names. For example, I'm just walking through the Peterselli Street. This is the signboard. It is Peterselli Street. I hope I have pronounced it right. There are so many other kind of streets, like to my right you can see the Princess Street. Yeah, that is the Princess Street. So most of the streets take its name from some Dutch names or French names. So that is why actually this whole place is almost the first European township in the country. Now as I am taking a stroll, I just came to know that here is the house of Yeshudas. That is actually the house built by Yeshudas' father for his mother. Right now, house of Yeshudas is owned by his brother and not by the singer. But now this has been converted to a hotel, and an interesting part of this is that on the top floor you can see a restaurant that is built by none other than our favorite star Dileep. So it's called Dileep's Restaurant, and it's Dileep's Mango Tree Restaurant. Actually, this whole house has an interesting thing. It's built around one mango tree that was planted by Yeshudas' mother himself years before. So this is the facade of the house of Yeshudas. Even now, Yeshudas visits this place every year. Kochi is so full of churches, and now I am at one more church that is one of the oldest churches of our country. That is the Santa Cruz Church. This is a construction that was built in 1505 by the Dutch, and by 1558 it was later converted to a cathedral, but now this is also elevated to the level of a basilica. It was in 1798 that this church was destroyed by the British, and after a period of 100 years, this cathedral was later rebuilt, it was reconstructed, and now renovation procedures are going on. Kochi might be the hub of fashion and technology, but a look into the Fort Kochi will make you realize that its roots are so much erected in tradition. We just had a look at the different sites of Fort Kochi, and unfortunately we couldn't get into many of these monuments because photography and videography of any form is strictly prohibited here. So we could not give you a glance into the interiors of many of the monuments, but still you did get a feel of how this beautiful place is, with lot of history and lot of beauty in it. So I am continuing my journey now. I'm gonna refresh myself with a tall glass of watermelon juice, and after that I'll be continuing my journey and you're gonna join me too. And this, with all those beautiful scenes I offered you in this episode, I am signing off. This is none other than your Kirti Ramachandran signing off from Travel Guide.